everyone knows you should do an oil change every time you service your car, but today I'll give you 5 more things you should check regularly to make sure your car is running perfectly. The first thing you should check every single service, which you might not already, is your air filter. Now, this doesn't have to be replaced every service, you just got to check it and then replace it if it needs to, like if it's too blocked up or if it's falling apart or getting a bit old, because your car needs a good amount of airflow and clean air as well. So keeping the filter nice and maintained helps that a lot. And my car is due to get it replaced, so I'll do that right now and show you exactly how to do it too. Now the air filter is pretty easy to get to. It sits inside this big box here. And all you have to do is undo these 3 clips around the edge of the circle, pull the lid off, and you can take the air filter out after that. So you can see the old one here, like it's pretty dusty, especially compared to the new one. Look at that, it's such a big difference. This looks so much cleaner. So before I chuck this one in though, I usually write the date and the odometer reading on it, just so I know when I replaced it and when it's roughly going to be due to get replaced again. Once that's done, I can chuck it in the car, close the clips up, and she is good to go. Now that was pretty easy, so let's step it up a notch. The next thing I bet you've never ever checked before sits about here. This is called the transfer case, and it does 3 jobs on this LandCruiser. The first one is that it manages the high range and low range speed selector inside the cab. The second job is it's actually a differential between the front tyres and the back tyres, allowing them to spin at different speeds. But it can also be locked, which is the third job. You can lock this transfer case so your front tyres and back tyres spin at the same speeds. Now, because this is a diff, it obviously has oil in it. Oil in here has to get replaced, and I have to say I have never done it before, so it's about due, and I think you should check yours as well, especially if you're doing a lot of four-wheel driving. To replace the oil, we have to take off this dash plate first, and to do that you need a 12mm socket. So now the dash plate is off, we can replace the oil. Now it works the same as replacing diff oil in that there's 2 bungs, there's one at the top here, one at the bottom, and to drain the oil you take this top one and just crack it slightly to let some air in, and then take this bottom one all the way out and oil will fall out of this bottom hole. Now these little plugs have a magnet in them to collect any metal shavings, which is good. Just check that, mine wasn't too bad, there's only a little bit there, so that's no worries. There's also a washer to replace. And then yeah, just give it a good clean before putting it back in the transfer case. And then we'll get our oil, which I'm using this 75W90 trans gear oil, which is for the transfer case for this car. So I'll use this, and with the help of this little pump, I can use this pump to pump the oil into the top hole. And then the idea is you pump it into the top hole until it starts to dribble out of that hole, and then bang, you know it's full. You put the plug in the top one and you are good to go. And there is obviously a lot of oil around here that's leaked out from a seal behind here, but that's a bigger issue I'll address in the future. Rightio, all the oiling is done and we are good to go. Righto, the next thing we're doing on the car is in the engine bay again, and I'll give you a hint, it rhymes with pool filter. Yeah, you guessed it, it's the fuel filter. And it's located right here. Now the fuel filter does lots and lots of different things, but the most famous one is filtering the fuel. Now this car has 2 fuel filters, but today I'll just replace one of them. This is the new one here to replace it with, and I think to keep it interesting for you guys, I'll replace it while I have a cool voiceover song on in the background, just so it's a bit more exciting for you guys. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Step 1 is to go to the bottom of the fuel filter and find the sensor, and then you gotta unplug this plug to unplug the sensor, just like that. Then you gotta get an ice cream container and put it underneath the fuel filter, and then get the oil filter removal tool and use it to undo the fuel filter. Then you can use your hands once it gets pretty easy, just like this. But make sure you get all the fuel that leaks with the container, otherwise it can get pretty messy. Take it out of the car and take it to the bench. Then you gotta drain the rest of the fuel out and take off the water sensor at the top. Once you take it off, leave it to the side and go and get the new filter. Then you gotta take it out of the box and take it over to the bench and wet this O-ring in fuel. well, diesel, so it's nice and wet and nice and moist. Then you put the water sensor on the new filter, screw it down tight, not too tight, just hand tight, because you don't want to wreck it. Write the date and the kilometre reading on it so you know when you replace it and when it's going to be due next. Then you can take the plastic cover off and wet the top of that ring with some diesel as well. Make it nice and wet so that it seals properly and doesn't leak all over the place. Then take it back over to the car and screw it in. Just use your hands first and screw it in till it's nice and tight, nice and firm. It makes a seal, and then you can get the fuel filter removal tool and tighten it up. Make it nice and tight. Do it half a turn more than you did with your hands. Well, that's what it says to do on the fuel filter, so just follow those instructions, it'll be way easier. Once you've done that, make sure you plug the wire back in, and then you gotta prime it with this black button. So just push it down, push it down, push it down, really lots until it gets hard like this. And then it's ready to start the car, and you'll see if all your hard work actually worked. Oh yeah! Now, the next thing is something I know you've never done before, because I've never done it before, and it's one of those things that you just don't even think of doing, but it says to do it every single service. So, what is it? Greasing. Now, if you go for a crawl underneath your car at any stage, you will notice a fair few grease nipples, especially along the drive shafts and uni joints, and these need to be greased, and I've never done it before, so today I think I probably should. I've bought some Molly grease here, which is the grease to use for the job, and I'll go around and pretty much just grease every single grease nipple I can find. It's pretty easy, you just keep pumping them full of grease until grease spurts out the sides, wipe it up, and then move on to the next one. Glad that's done. The last thing I'll be checking today, which is also something that you should check quite regularly, is the bearings for the wheels, also known as the wheel bearings. So here we have one of the car's wheels. Now most cars, and I think your car would as well, they actually have 4 of these wheels. So you have to do this process 4 times, but luckily it's pretty easy. So the first step to checking your wheel bearings is to jack up the car. I think I might need a block of wood or 2. That's much better, mate, much better. Exercise, mate. Now that the car is jacked up, this tyre is spinning freely, and you want to just check that it is actually spinning freely and not like, I don't know, grinding, or doesn't feel like there's a sound. Because that means that the wheel bearing is not working or not smooth. So check that, this one seems all good. So the next step to do is to grab the tyre at the 9 o'clock position and the 3 o'clock position and give it a shake back and forward. Now, if you feel any movement, like any hard clicking or, I don't know, moving or like, that means that your wheel bearing is stuffed and needs replacing. It could be in a few things, but that's one of the ways to check. If it's not moving, you know your wheel bearing's good. But also do it again at the 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock position. Just be careful because you're putting your hand underneath the car and it won't be very nice if it falls. So grab that and then just give it another shake. Yeah, no movement at all. This wheel bearing is good to go. So I can take that jack and lower it back to the ground. And we know this tyre is ready to rock and roll. See what I did there? It's a little joke about tyres because they roll. It doesn't work if I have to explain it. Now that I knew the first wheel was fine, I could do the same test to the final 3 wheels. All 4 wheel bearings are perfect and good to go. Well, there you go. They are 5 routine tasks that you should do on your cruiser or any 4-wheel drive or any car regularly to make sure it stays in tip-top condition. Now, the reason why I spent so much time and money on the cruiser today is because next week I'm going on a massive road trip all the way to WA. It's actually over that way. Anyway, that will be the next video you see me in. So for now, I'll sign off this one and catch you all later. See you fellas.